big, beautiful, loving planet called Earth. Before I get into the weekly tasks for the past week and for the upcoming week, I did want to talk a little bit about some of the good, some of the bad, and some of the great things, amazing, awesome things that happened at WrestleMania on night 1 and night 2. Now, some of you are going to not fully understand how much wrestling means to me or any of that stuff, even though I've been talking about it nonstop the last couple of days, and this will probably be the last time I talk about it until next year. So here's some of the stuff that I felt like could have been done better. Or not better, but have a new United States champion. I mean, don't get me wrong, Logan Paul's a great athlete and everything, but I just feel like Randy should have won that United States Championship. I mean, he deserved it more than... I'm not saying Kevin Owens didn't deserve it or should have gotten pinned or anything like that. I'm just saying I want to see Randy Orton win the United States Championship. I don't know when that'll happen or if that will happen, but that's one thing I looked down upon this past week, these last 2 days of WrestleMania. Now, another thing is I would have loved to seen Becky Lynch become a 7-time champion by beating Rhea Ripley. That was another thing that was kind of a downfall for me. Everything else kind of was what it should have been. We have 2 new tag teams, one on Raw and one on SmackDown, because the A-Town, I mentioned this in yesterday's vlog, A-Town Down Under won the SmackDown titles, and the Awesome Truth won the Raw tag team titles. So who knows what's going to happen with that, how they're going to defend those 2 titles on Raw and SmackDown. And, there's another thing that I wish would have been a little bit different. Now, I'm not saying that Bloodline Rules wasn't great, which we'll get into in a minute here. But that match, the first night's match between Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus Rock and Roman Reigns should have ended a little differently. But we're going to get back to that in a second. Another great... not a great thing, but another very awesome thing that happened this weekend was Sami Zayn beating Gunther for the IC title, which brings me to a point. I believe they said he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, but I could be wrong on that. At least that's what I thought Michael Cole said, but we'll get back into that in a second here. That was one thing I was hoping would happen, would be Sami Zayn finally having someone beat Gunther for that title. And he did that by beating Gunther with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Helluva Kicks to beat Gunther. And then there's a bunch of matches in between. LA Knight beating AJ Styles, that was a pretty good thing that happened. The Final Testament lost to Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, and the special guest referee was Bubba Ray Dudley, who I guess is from Philly. I didn't know that. And then, there was other matches on the card as well. There was the Jade Cargill, Naomi and Bianca Belair beating the Damage Control with Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai. That was a good match. I like that match. Now let's dive into the championship match, because this match was one for the ages. This is going to be talked about for 100 years, like JBL said at the kickoff show. He said that whoever won that match was going to be talked about for 100 years from now. And, the whole line was to finish the story. Now, there was a lot of individuals who were part of this match. Not just Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. We had Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso part of the match. We had Solo Sikoa and John Cena part of the match. We had Seth Rollins in there. We had The Rock. And this was a shock to everyone because I didn't see this coming at all. And I don't think anyone saw this coming. Everyone thought it was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin that helped Cody Rhodes finish the story. But it was someone a little bit darker. And that being the Dead Man, The Undertaker. Now, I did not see that. When I saw that happen, I was like in complete shock. I was like, what? What happened here? Now, Cody Rhodes is now the undisputed WWE champion by beating Roman Reigns for that title that he held for 1,316 days. And now his reign is over. He'll probably take a step back and we'll have some new challengers and some new individuals that are going to be going after Cody Rhodes now. Now, here's another thing that happened. So Seth Rollins, the first match of the night, Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre won the title by hitting three or four Claymores, something like that. But it wasn't what happened during the match. It was what happened after the match that should have got people talking. So CM Punk beat up Drew McIntyre after a grueling match with Seth Rollins, and used his arm brace because he's got something wrong with his arm, or it did, and then he threw Damian Priest came down, went down to the ring, hit Drew McIntyre with the briefcase, not once but twice, and then hit the choke slam. I can't remember what his finishing move is, and then won the title. So we have a new WWE title holder, and the other title holder is now Damian Priest. We've got a new Intercontinental Champion. We still have the same United States Champion. Bayley beat Io Sky for the women's title, and just a bunch of other stuff. And I grew up near the Bay Area, and I'm proud to root for Bayley now, because everyone should know by now that she grew up in San Jose, or was born and raised in San Jose. So there's that. So I'm gonna get into this weekly task really quick. Continue reading War and Peace book. I got to page 44 of 1,146. Watch as many movies and continue Shadowhunter Season 1 from home as possible. I get through 11 movies and 2 episodes. Number 3 is watch Candace King, Giggly Squad, and some of BFF podcast channel this week. I did finish Candace King's channel. We still have 18 videos left on Giggly Squad. And then number 4 is go and see Godzilla X Con, The New Empire on Tuesday, April 2nd, which was last Tuesday, which I did. Now, everything is going to stay the same, except for we're resetting number 2 to 0 movies and 0 episodes. We're changing number 3 around a little bit, and we're going to say watch Giggly Squad and some of BFF's podcast channel this week. And there are 2 movies being opening this weekend. One is called Sting and one is called Civil War. I don't know which one I'm going to go see this week, but one of the 2 I'll see this week, and then next week we'll see one. Actually, we might see 2 movies next week, but that's the recap of both WrestleMania and last week's weekly task, and set up for next week's weekly task. So we've got a couple birthdays to wish, so let's just dive into that. I want to wish Matt Lieberman and Andrew Huang a happy 40th birthday. And I'd like to wish, who else was it that we have a birthday today? Gabriella Calthera Powell, Pennell, Ponnall. Happy 35th birthday to her. And then we got a bunch of birthdays, a few birthdays tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. This video was super long. I apologize. I just got excited talking about wrestling. and I didn't really give you kind of a full weekly task, but we'll do a better one next week when there's not WrestleMania happening. All right, I will see you tomorrow with a brand new vlog, and bye-bye.